the wildest truth. I know you like the sound of it. I know you love the style of it. Now sit back, here comes the wildest truth. All I gotta say is I love the word bitch. Remember me still hating on Nintendo shit? 3 years later, Uncharted shits on Gears of War. Now I don't gotta say I hate it no more. Same review who loves to say son of a bitch became a YouTube star, still don't own a car. You want a review, you don't gotta look far. Prove once again these sites ain't on par. Okay, so I'm gonna reimagine the story in the way I'm getting it from when I'm playing the game. Basically, these aliens who can shapeshift into humans or go inside robots are now wanting to fuck up humanity. I know, what a surprise. And as that's happening, your character meets some butler-looking dude who can build stuff. And guess what you become? You become Rocketeer / Iron Man, whoever you want to call it. And you have to go fight those big bad aliens. And guess what? You meet a resistance. And guess what? The guy looks like the guy from Terminator Salvation. Oh man, did that bring back memories. Regardless, the story is basically good versus evil. Humanity versus these aliens. That's the basic story. The voice acting, for the most part, is well done. Everything else kind of sucks. It's boring. It starts off kind of interesting. You want to know what these aliens are. But then as you get through the story and you go with this resistance team, which feels like a bunch of filler most of the time, you just really don't care at the end of the game. And I have to be honest, the story just is a letdown. And it had pretty damn good voice acting, so really it's a shame. Well, for one, I like that the graphics, you know, have this kind of animation feel to it, like when you actually fly or blast off, whatever you want to call it, you know, his arms flail and everything. It looks cool. And the explosions, for the most part, look pretty cool. Everything else, from the art design to the environments, are just generic and bland. I hated this art design. It's ugly. It is ugly. Maybe because they just look like robots with one big ass eye. But really, I just hated the design in this game. Now, this is subjective, and this isn't for everybody. If you like the art design, you're going to love it. However, I hated it, and the environments are just ugly most of the time. Everything looks like a space shuttle or just the sky. That's it. There's one cool-looking level of the jungle, and you only play through one level. So overall, the graphics, well, the raw power isn't terrible. You know, the art design just isn't doing it for me. Okay, the gameplay is split into two things. Let me start off with the first half of the game. It is pretty fun. It's basically a third-person shooter. You hide behind cover and you shoot. And you also get a jetpack early on, which allows you to boost, which will give you the advantage of just jumping over enemies and shooting them from above. What's really cool feature is the vertical combat. Basically, if you see a ledge, you can jump on it by pressing X, and you will actually be shooting while you're hanging upside down. That's really cool. It works really well. There's no problems with it. It makes the combat pretty enjoyable, and that takes care of like the first 6 chapters, the vertical combat and the regular combat and the boosting, and that's all fun. I had no problem with it. As the game progresses, you do more flying missions, and I do have a problem with the flying. This, I guess is subjective if you're actually good at it, but I found the aiming in this game terrible when you're flying. I hate it. I don't understand why I can't use the second analog stick to aim. Why does it have to be to move? You couldn't just make it a different button? I mean, the aiming seems so fucking annoying in this game. I hated it. And now I'm only talking when you're flying in midair, chasing other stupid freaking flying vehicles. And I love that their aim is absolutely 100% kick-ass. You can do all the rolls in the world, and these guys will hit the shit out of you. I just don't get that. Overall, though, I really didn't like the air combat. I hate the escort idea. I don't know why games keep putting escort missions. There's plenty of them later on, and they're not very fun, because if your stupid teammate dies, uh-oh, you die. And really, it's just the vertical combat, like I said, is fun. The regular combat isn't bad either. You know, just shooting, hiding, shooting, ducking, you know, same old, same old. You get very limited amounts of weapons, but some of them are really cool, such as like this mini rocket launcher / shotgun type of weapon. The sniper works really well, and the main machine gun feels good. But as far as flying, which takes up the majority of the later stages, the escort missions, and the crappy bosses, overall, this game has good ideas, but it just doesn't come through in the gameplay department too much. Okay, so I know I'm sounding pretty negative throughout the review, but let me be clear, I did have fun with Dark Void for the first half. I had a lot of fun, actually. I was going to give this a nice, like, 7.5 8 maybe. I was having a good time. But the second half comes and it just shits all over you, and it's like, it gives you annoying missions to do. It's frustrating, it's hard, it's annoying, and that to me is a big problem. But let me be clear, it is worth the rent. Even if you can play only through the first half, it is a fun, enjoyable, and definitely some really cool ideas. The vertical combat is definitely a unique idea I really want to see more of. But everything else just didn't come through. It's about a 6 to 7 hour game, maybe longer if you play on hard, but it's a very, very short game. And just overall, it just fails to capture this feeling of awesome flying maneuvers and all that. It just feels like very, very little flying maneuvers. You have roll back, roll to the side, and just shoot. There's nothing really amazing about the flying. So overall, I expected better from Capcom. This is a disappointment. It has some neat ideas, but it just doesn't go to its full potential.